welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching us today. We are at the Cloud Expo in Manhattan. It is 2011. We're at the Jacob Javits Center. On our program today is Ditlev Bredahl. He's the CEO of OnApp, and his company makes cloud enablement solutions.
Yeah, that's right.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Good. So tell me a little bit about your company.
Yeah, so OnApp is a software business. We've been around for 3 years or so, and we help hosting businesses to compete with the Amazons, Rackspace softwares out there by basically taking their existing infrastructure. We install OnApp on top of it, and it allows them to sell cloud hosting.
So in terms of the amount of time it takes for them to transform their company?
That's a really big deal, actually, because most of the hosting companies that are not already online with a cloud solution, they're really busy now. So time to market is a huge concern to them. And we've done it in 12 hours, but typically it's like
12 hours?
Yeah, 12 hours. Yeah, we had one guy actually coming from a competitor of ours, and he wasn't too happy. And we migrated his whole setup in 12 hours, including billing and users and everything. But typically it's around 24, 48 hours, yeah.
And billing is the biggest challenge, right? Or
billing is a big deal because there's quite a few billing systems out there. And in order for a company like ours to succeed, we need to be able to integrate with all of them. And we do that really well.
So how did this company come about?
Our business?
Yeah.
We are a spin-off of a hosting business called UK2 Group that I used to run for the last sort of 6 years. I sold that, I guess 8 weeks ago now or something like that, to Lloyds, which is a large bank in UK. And before doing that, about 2 years ago, we bought out the IP running the cloud solution inside of UK2 Group, and now help other businesses do what UK2 Group did so well. So UK2 Group has a business called VPS.net, which is now our largest client, with around, I think, 70,000 VMs or something like that.
Now, in terms of the market, have you seen a lot of growth in the last few years?
It's been crazy for us. I mean, there's, yes and no, actually, when you ask about it that way, because there's around 33,000 hosting companies in the world, with more than 1,000 domains, more than 5 employees, and more than $1 million of revenue. And out of those 33,000, only 500 of them actually have a cloud solution. And everyone is talking about it, but not that many are actually doing it. So there's only 500 solutions like Rackspace, Software, and those guys. We power 278 of those 500. So we've seen tremendous growth, but the industry as such is actually growing fairly slow.
Now, do we get into a challenge of oversaturation if all 33,000 decide to jump in?
I think we'll go in 3 phases. Actually, that's a good question. I think we'll go in 3 phases. The first phase is where we are now, where the cloud is cool and sexy just because it's a cloud. And so people, they deploy stuff on it without really needing the whole feature set that a cloud can provide.
Right.
That's the first phase, and I think we're probably a good 6 to 12 months away from that phase ending. The second phase is what you're talking about, when the cloud will commoditize. And this is what the hosting providers and anyone else doing this sort of thing really has to take care of. Because suddenly, the cloud is no longer cool and sexy. It's just down to the CPU and the RAM and whatever you have inside of it. And then it's a question of who can sell that cheapest. It's a terrible situation to be in. And then you have to sort of decommoditize yourself by adding features on top of your cloud setup. And then the third phase, and I can't wait for that phase, is when the cloud is no longer the cloud, but just how stuff is done. So you can imagine now if you have a management team sitting around discussing this new solution they have to provide somewhere, someone might now raise their hand and say, why don't we put it in the cloud? I think 5 years from now it's going to be the other way around, where the cloud is just how stuff is naturally deployed. And there might be some guy raising the hand saying we could try Colo, but it's sort of the opposite picture than we have now.
In terms of companies that are, and let's see some of these hosting companies that are thinking about becoming cloud providers, what are the top, let's say, 3 reasons they should call you?
Well, as a hosting company, you're really concerned about 3 things typically. Time to market, like we spoke about before, because if you don't already have a solution, you're in big trouble. You need to get cracking on this thing because your competitors are stealing all your clients.
Right.
So time to market is a major thing they're thinking about, and that's what we've been focusing on as well from the get-go with our 12 to 24 hours, 48 hours deployment time. Second thing is the whole cost model around it.
Right.
So most hosting companies are very CapEx sensitive because they have a big data center, they have a lot of servers sitting in there, and their clients might be paying monthly, but they have to pay up front for all the hardware inside of their data centers. It's a really touchy subject for most hosting companies. And so the way we do it is we have a totally OpEx-based model where actually right now we give away the first 100 cores for free. Makes it really easy and cheap to get started. And thirdly is the profitability of your setup. So for a hosting provider, that can really be translated to density. how many clients can you wham onto a server?
Right.
And in our case, we have some special technology that gives us really the best profitability out there. So those three things is key, and that's why they should come to us.
And what's next for your company?
So we are launching in 1st of August a new sort of arm to our business that I can't talk about, but it will be really cool.
Something really cool?
Oh, yeah, really cool.
So make sure to send us the news at TMCnet.
I will.
So we'll just direct people to go to TMCnet and
cool.
Make sure that you check it out.
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
Thanks
cool.
for being here.
Yeah, good to meet you.
Good
Thanks.
luck.
Thanks.